So today is Tuesday, April 12th, 2022, episode 88 for life. 88 for life. Episode 88, shout out. Hey, if you know, you know. That's from the Gridiron Gang, dead homies. 88 for life, Willie Weathers, real West Side nigga. My name is Michael DeLue. This is episode 88 of Pull Up the Tape. We're approaching 100. Tap in, all right? With that being said, before I get into today's episode, I would just like to thank everyone that's consistently supporting me, tapping into the podcast, sharing my videos, liking my TikTok videos, whatever. I genuinely appreciate that shit because I know what it feels like to be putting my hard work into these episodes and nobody seeing it, nobody fucking with it. You know, those are the dark days of this shit. But nevertheless, all I ever did was continue to put my head down and keep working, okay? And that's how I got to where I'm at. I'm nowhere near where I want to be, but, you know, I love seeing consistent and gradual growth. And with that being said, I'm going to get into today's topics. It's a really quick podcast, probably like 15 minutes, nothing too crazy. We're at the dark stage of the basketball and football calendar where, all right, so today, the regular season just ended yesterday. We got 2 days ago. We got the playing games today. There's not really too much stuff happening in the NFL. So this is what I have today, and I want to promise everyone that this is the last time I will discuss about my Los Angeles Lakers until the offseason begins. Okay, I'm done speaking about the Lakers. The Lakers are trash. Anybody wants to know how I feel about the Lakers? Go look at the last video I posted on my Instagram or the last video I posted on TikTok. That is sum up exactly how I feel about the 2021-22 Los Angeles Lakers. But with that being said, yesterday the Lakers had their exit interviews, and some really interesting bits and pieces were said by a bunch of different players. But I want to focus specifically on LeBron James and Russell Westbrook. But Russell Westbrook specifically, I'm gonna get into him first. So Russell Westbrook. One of the key comments, bits and pieces I took from his interview was when he said, "I was never given a fair chance to be who I needed to be to help this team." And he talked about how he's one of the few people in the NBA that consistently has to prove himself every single year, regardless of everything he's accomplished because of the narratives that the media portrays about him and X, Y, and Z and blase, which I feel like is true to a certain degree. But in this specific instance, what he's talking about, I don't really agree with because, you know, I do understand that, you know, a lot of people do pick holes and you know, poke holes at his game and, you know, are overly critical of him. But I think rightfully so because, you know, when you amass some of the individual accomplishments that he's been able to do and you have experienced the success, like, you know, Russell Westbrook does not get the same criticism as fucking I don't even want to say who's a seasoned vet that's been in the league. Oh, damn, what's that dude's name? He played for the Nuggets. Paul Millsap. Like, Paul Millsap doesn't get criticized by the media because Paul Millsap at his prime has never been as good or anywhere near a top 10 player in the NBA. So with great power is great responsibility, and all that stuff that comes with being a good NBA player comes with getting scrutinized. Same thing with being a really good quarterback. You're gonna get talked about when you don't perform well or when you fall short in big games. You will get discussed as if, you know, and rightfully so. That it just is what it is. But I feel like with the Russell Westbrook situation, I feel like that was like more so a shot at the media because, you know, initially when he first got traded there, everybody was like, "Oh, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. It's not going to work." Like, "Oh, this is bound to fail. Like, this is a fucking catastrophe waiting to happen." That when it actually did happen for various reasons, AD not being healthy, Russell Westbrook himself not playing up to not being the best version of himself that he could be, LeBron's injuries, you know, the fact that, you know, Frank Vogel's rotations were fucking horrific all season long. I will never forgive the Lakers for signing DeAndre Jordan to a contract, okay? And the fact that DeAndre Jordan, like, even stuff like that, like, why is DeAndre Jordan even getting minutes? DeAndre Jordan is trash. Like, oh my. I don't want to get into I'm not going to get into a yelling match about the Lakers anymore, but it's like it's like when as I interpreted what he was saying, and I'm just like, okay, it seems like what he's saying is right. It was doomed to fail, but definitely like he was the scapegoat like of the whole season. But there were so many other things going wrong with the team that I feel like the easiest thing was to scapegoat him. But I feel like he's just more so right. I mean, more so upset or more so feels away because we were right. I feel like that was just honest analysis. That's like telling that the Russell Westbrook being mad about this is like you telling your homie, right? Russell Westbrook being mad about this is like your homie tells you he's dating a girl and you're like, bro, that bitch is crazy. And then he ends up dating the bitch and then she ends up being crazy. And then he's just like, bro, what the fuck? Why aren't y'all? Nigga, we told you this bitch was crazy. What do you mean? Like, we said this shit wouldn't work. You can't shoot. AD can't stay. Like, come on now. Like, that doesn't make sense. Again, this whole situation, this whole season, the whole Lakers season it as a whole, it's like your homie telling you, hey, I'm finna fuck with this girl. You tell him, bro, she is batshit crazy. And he's like, oh, no. And then she ends up being batshit crazy. And then he's mad at you or just mad at the world that he messed with her. Like, nigga, duh, we told you. Nigga, come on now. Like, nigga, don't play these games with me. And honestly, like, I'm not too sure exactly what's going to happen with Russell Westbrook's career because either he gets traded this offseason and and contrary to what many people may believe, Russell Westbrook, if he gets traded this offseason, like Russell Westbrook getting traded, like there's going to be more teams than you guys think would be interested in having somebody on an expiring contract. A lot of teams are always interested in having players on an expiring contract. Yeah, this next year is $47 million is guaranteed. Whatever he's going to opt in, whatever team is going to have to pay that. But after that, he's dead. Like they can no money is guaranteed after that. And my thing with Russell Westbrook and why I'm so just like, I don't know, because this is like a really, really pivotal junction of his career. Because like, okay, if he stays on the Lakers after next season, he's out of there. If he gets traded, whatever team after next season, they're not re-signing him. What happens then? Because good teams will not want to acquire him because he's just going to mess up the rotation, mess up the flow of the offense, and then bad teams, which are usually young teams, probably wouldn't want him either because he's probably just going to stunt the growth of young players. So it kind of leaves his career in a conundrum where it's like, okay, what exactly is going to happen moving forward with this dude? And I'm not gonna lie, like the NBA is the NBA professional sports is a cold piece. Look, and I seen this on a show today. In 2008, Allen Iverson was averaging 26 points and 8 assists, 26 points and 7 assists for the Denver Nuggets in 2008. By 2010, he was playing in Turkey. 2 years. By 2010, he was playing in Turkey. Russell Westbrook is not that. Russell Westbrook, so if that can happen to Allen Iverson, who is a way better shooter than Russell Westbrook, it can happen to anyone. And like, I'm not even gonna lie, like, there's a lot of dudes that have been solid players in the NBA, role players, starting players, like Gilbert Arenas, and then found themselves out the league for various reasons. Like, that's not, and then I just can't imagine Russell Westbrook being able to take a lesser role and become a role player on the team. So I don't know. We'll see. But like I said, I'm gonna keep my promise. It's gonna be the last time I talk about the Lakers. Okay, once I'm done with this next topic, I'm done with speaking about the Lakers because fuck the Lakers, nigga. All right, and then LeBron. So a lot was said about and it's funny because I appeared on a podcast last Friday. The episode is out. For those of you guys who comment below if you want the link. Or actually, I'll leave the link below. And one of the questions that was asked to me was, should LeBron play the last 2 games of the season to get the scoring title? And my honest to God answer was, I don't care. I don't care. I don't care if he does play or if he doesn't play because either way, at this point, LeBron's going to get criticized and scrutinized either way. So there really isn't no. And I feel like LeBron ended up going about it the right way because look, LeBron wins the scoring title. Look, listen to this. If LeBron wins the scoring title, naysayers are going to be like, who the fuck cares? They didn't even make the playoffs and they couldn't even make the playoffs. They finished as the fucking 11th seed. Like, who cares? Like, which is facts. which is facts. Because like 10 years from now, people are going to be like, oh, LeBron led the league in scoring at 37. And then niggas in the back will be like, shut the fuck up. They didn't even make the playoffs that year. Shut the fuck up. They didn't even make the playoffs that year. That's exactly what's going to happen. Look, literally, somebody would say, bro, what are you talking about? He led the league in scoring at 37. And then a nigga in the back would be like, shut the fuck up. He didn't even make the playoffs that year. Doesn't matter. Next. Exactly my point. It is cool that LeBron is the youngest player to average 30 at 21 and the oldest player to average 30 at 37. That's incredible. That's honestly like amazing. But at the same time, it's like, but his comments was, when he was asked about, sitting out the last 2 games, he said, that's so beneath me and where I am in my career. That's the wackest thing ever, which I agree wholeheartedly. And LeBron went on to say that once he the only reason why he straps it up every day is to play meaningful basketball. So once it was determined that these games don't matter, and the fact that I'm already injured, there's no point in me playing at all. Period point blank. And I agree wholeheartedly. Okay, I have no issues with that. I don't see anything wrong with that. I personally wouldn't even want to see LeBron play. Like, let Mac McClung, let some of the Los Angeles defenders get minutes, in the NBA, get quality minutes and shit like that. Show out what they can do. Which I'm all for. Austin Reeves had the best. I think THG had 40 against I don't know who they played on Sunday. Not Friday, Saturday, one, two. No, last game was on Sunday, but nevertheless. That's going to conclude today's podcast. Really, really short. Nothing too long. Nothing too special. But with that being said, I just want to continue to thank everybody that's supporting me. I'm just trying my best to make this as consistent as possible. I'm really, really excited because playoffs are here. I love the playoffs, and I give some of my most viral takes of our players during the playoffs. So stay tuned for that. I will be reacting to the playing games tomorrow, letting you guys know what I think, my takes, and all the above. With that being said, long live my brother. May the marathon continue. Long live Nip. Long live Pop Smoke. Whoa. You already know what it is. Whoa. Free Chef G. Free Pooh Shiesty. And once again, I always want to emphasize, long live my brother Abdul. I love you so much, bro. I miss you every single day. That being said, I'm out this bitch.